Jeez. Come on.
What are you doing? What's going on, Mr. Millard?
Mrs. Quiggins, I am just so frustrated. I got this cool vest as a gift, and I just can't get the zipper to go up, and it's frustrated.
I see that. Well, first of all, you need to take a deep breath. There you go. Maybe you should take another one. Very good. Now, do you know what you need, Mr. Millard?
I don't know. Maybe some WD-40 or a paper clip or some pliers or something.
No. You need perseverance.
What?
Perseverance.
What is perseverance going to do to help me get this zipper up?
Well, perseverance means that you stick with it and you try your best no matter how hard it gets.
So even though this is frustrating and hard, I should just try again.
Try again, take a deep breath, and do your best.
Okay, here we go. What? It worked!
It worked! You did it!
I'm so happy because I was so excited about this gift today. And, it looks like perseverance is what we're learning about in our Boosterthon character education video today. It's funny how those things work together like that.
What a coincidence.
But speaking of Boosterthon, we're doing great. We're getting closer and closer to hitting 50% of our goal of $45,000 so that we can, what are we buying?
Playground equipment. That's
right, new playground equipment for all of our students to be able to use. And today is Friday. You know what that means for tomorrow?
Means it's Saturday.
And then the day after that?
It's Sunday.
And when you put them together?
You get the weekend.
That's right. And you know what we like to do on the weekend?
We love to get pledges.
That's right. And we like to give a weekend challenge. And that's what we're doing this weekend. So this weekend, any student who gets donations adding up to $2 per lap or $60 in flat donations, and they have to be new donations, right? So it has to be donations this weekend. They will receive a bonus prize. Can you say bonus prize?
Bonus prize.
This is the chance to get a bonus prize in addition to your normal prizes. So raise your hand if you think there are 2 people you can ask for a donation this weekend. You think you can do it?
I know I can do it.
I think I can do it. And remember that all of our donations get logged on mybooster.com. Let's take a look and see where we're at with our pledges so far. Congratulations to last night's challenge winners. The winners of the Teacher Lunch Challenge are Miss Gregory and Mrs. Akos' classes. Let's see how close to our goal we are getting. Remember that we're trying to raise $45,000 for new playground equipment. Right now, we're at $19,569. So close to $20,000. Can you help us get there? Let's take a look at our class pledge-o-meters. In kindergarten, Mrs. Darden's class is at $23.83 per lap. Miss Gregory is at $28.33 per lap. Mrs. Turner, wow, $38.84 per lap. Mrs. Lazarus, she's moving up the pledge-o-meter, $9 a lap. Mrs. Munoz, $37.51 per lap, and Mrs. Shank is at $15.75 per lap on the pledge-o-meter. Let's take a look at first grade. Mrs. Howell is at $32.50 per lap. Mrs. McLeod is at $12.35 per lap. Mrs. McDermott is at $11.33 per lap. Miss Moore, amazing, $42.50 per lap. Miss O, so close to $30 a lap on the pledge-o-meter. Mrs. Stark, wow, $46.66 per lap. And Mrs. Threadgill is at $17.52 per lap. All right, second graders, here you go. Mrs. Dameron, $24.51 per lap. Mrs. Davis, $15.32 per lap. Mrs. Furman, $31.34 per lap. Miss Herlihy, $38.34 per lap. Mrs. Register, $17.59 per lap. And Miss Williams, so close to $25 per lap on the pledge-o-meter. Third grade, let's take a look at where we're at. Mrs. Connor, $37.05 per lap. Mrs. Ferris, almost to $40 per lap. Mr. Jones, $19.33 per lap. Mrs. Schmidt and Miss Tucker, they are duking it out. $56.97 for Mrs. Schmidt and Mrs. Tucker at $51.50. Mrs. Vicks, $30.34 per lap, and Mrs. Widener rounds us out at $47.74 per lap. Let's check in on 4th grade. Mrs. Craven is up to $11.67 per lap. Miss Ganaway, $42.84 per lap. Mr. Lassiter's class, can they be caught? $66.96 per lap. Mrs. Picnic's at $19.01 per lap. Mrs. Ryan, $41.86 per lap, and Mrs. Wells' pledge-o-meter says $18.33 per lap. How about our 5th graders? Mrs. Akos' class is at $23.99 per lap. Mrs. Bowie, $38.66 per lap. Mrs. DeRicky, $21.66 per lap. Mrs. Doherty, $15.67 per lap. And Mr. Griffith brings us home with $44.49 per lap. Great job, 5th grade. Let's take a look at our top 10 pledgers. In 10th place, we have Sophia Khalil. 9th place, Lucas Dombeck. 8th place, Gracie Padgett. In 6th place, we have a tie with Graham and Wyatt Wilder. 5th place belongs to Avery Brown. Julian Meduyan is in 4th place. Dresden Gilbert has climbed up to 3rd place. Aubrey Rhodes, 2nd place. And who is still at the top? Nobody but Mr. Lassiter. Now let's take a look at our 50 states challenge. We're doing great. We have 31 out of 50 states, and we have 4 countries. Can you help us turn some of those gray states green? Give a call to a relative that lives in one of those states and ask for a donation. Wow, Mrs. Quiggins, it looks like we've got some amazing students doing great things, getting pledges for Boosterthon. And that Mr. Lassiter guy is doing some really cool things too, isn't he?
He is. He is on fire, boys and girls.
But I think we've got some students that are inching their way up that leaderboard that want to drop them down a peg. And I think they can do it. We want to thank everybody that's participating in Boosterthon, getting their pledges. Don't forget today to show perseverance in your classrooms. And we want to also remind you about our weekend challenge. Ms. Quiggins, you want to remind them one more time?
Sure. Remember, boys and girls, that this weekend, any student who gets donations adding up to $2 per lap or $60 in flat donations and new donations will receive a bonus prize.
That's right. So go home tonight, log on to mybooster.com with your families. You can show them today's video on perseverance, as well as share your page and earn donations to help your school. Have a great day, Bobcats, and a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend challenge.